What is going on, guys? And welcome back to the Pandacast episode 9. Oh, we're on the ninth episode. Nice. We didn't do 2 last week. I apologize for that. That was kind of me thing. I had some issues with some stuff. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess we can't do that then. We should wait until I can fix stuff. Basically, what happened was animes messed up. And I'm not sure what happened. But basically, animes and Steam kind of went, yeah, we're not gonna process your payment. And I was like, what? I was like, it's been fine, so why all of a sudden now is it an issue? And it's happened for 3 days, and it just sort of disconnected me from it. So I was a little bit upset about that. It was annoying more than anything. So I had to switch to VTuber Maker, which is made by Live 3D, and it doesn't do a lot of VTuber making. VTuber making, I had to. That's not the purpose of the program. The purpose of the program is like slightly different. Basically, what VTuber Maker is animes, but a different company who does it, who do it better and for free. And they have a lot of interesting stuff that you can play around with and do with it. And it is a lot more customizable than animes in some respects. But the only problem is, well, no, actually, it isn't a problem. They do have avatars of their own, which are really, really awesome and stuff. So, like, I like that. But at the same time, there is a bit of a learning curve in terms of what you want to do. So, obviously, you see the scene behind me and my character and stuff. I made the avatar, like, from scratch. Like, that's the thing that I did, and it was an interesting 2 days learning how to do this. I didn't know how to do any of it. Like, I have some stuff I want to tweak with it. Namely, the hoodie, I want it to, customize the hoodie so it has my logo on it and not the, just the default red. I want it to be black, or like a grey colour and with my logo on it. Like, maybe a dark grey, black colour, like charcoal-y kind of thing. And have my logo on it, and that'll be cool. And yeah, that's kind of like where I want to go with that when it comes to the hoodie. And I'm pretty happy with the rest of it. It kind of turned out okay. I had to learn how to make ears, so it looked pandery. I had to do all the hair. I think the hair turned out great, considering it was like my first attempt at doing hair. And I just had to make the scene, like the desk and everything. I made that. The only thing I didn't make that is the same as before is the background. Like, I think, like, you guys will recognize the background. It's a cyberpunk background. That's made by Cozy Dreams. If you type exclamation mark, BG in, the chat, you'll get a link to the background where you can, like, look at it, use it, download it, whatever you want to do with it. The guy does give permission in description to, in the comments to use it for, chillax videos and stuff, so that's kinda like where we went with that, and yeah, like, I feel like overall it looks a lot more better than what we were doing with animes. It's a lot cleaner, it's a lot more realistic, except for my character, but that's, like, a different thing, like, he's not meant to be realistic. But yeah, like, I'm happy with it. I think for 2 days' work, it turned out to be a lot better than it could have gone. I feel like for 2 days, just me doing it myself, like, that could have been an absolute nightmare, but I feel like this is something workable, it's a base. I think the desk looks absolutely pog. Like, FYI, all the images for the desk, the microphone, the coffee, the laptop, the desk itself, the lamp, like, they're not pre-made, right? They're not, like, made for this, not a part of the program. They're like external assets that I have put together to make like a realistic scene and stuff. So yeah, like all these products are like real life products, but like I feel they fit like the universe really, really well. I don't know. I'm just proud of it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I guess that's a weird thing. Maybe yeah, some people don't care, but like I feel like I did a good job on it. But anyways, let's move on from this. Let's move on and get into like, what we normally do, which is talking about stuff. Also, now in this, my character, when I look at my left monitor, which I do often because that's where like my chat and stuff is, and where I change settings and stuff. Because of the way my desk's set up, when I looked at my left monitor with animes, it would lose the tracking of my face, which was really annoying, and my character would like flip out. And that's why you'd see like the weird jerky movements and be like, yo, what's wrong with this panda? Whereas like when I look at left on this, it actually tracks my head and body. So when I turn left, it doesn't look like something crazy's happening. But yeah, let's get into it and let's get on to the first story. And this is The Guardian, and I have a love-hate relationship with The Guardian, not gonna lie. They do publish some good stuff, but at the same time, they don't. But there is people who work there who do produce good stuff. And one of them is William Keegan, who works in the economics department. So, Leavers Pride may not enjoy as Britain's poverty rises. The emotional three-word catchphrase, "Get Brexit done," has been replaced with a new one, which is supply chain issues. And this is related to, well, every aspect of the UK, pretty much, in a lot of areas. Bar exception of a few companies that have their own means of getting stuff in, the well, supermarkets, restaurants, everything that relies on timely deliveries, they're having a really bad time of it. So basically, restaurants aren't getting fresh produce. They can't get it from suppliers. There is issues with getting, just convenience goods to stores, whether it be Co-op, Tesco, Asda, the like. There's just issues getting it there, and the shelves empty of stuff randomly all around. So you'll just go and you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna get this thing, and then that area will have no stock. But then you'll go elsewhere, and then there will be stock for other stuff. But what it comes down to is that because of what happened with Brexit, there isn't the drivers, there isn't the workforce in these areas to do the jobs. And heavy goods vehicles have been hit, obviously, like one of the most badly hit. And it comes in terms to a lot of, well, how do you get goods into the country? Well, you don't have a visa, so you need to apply for a visa to get in, to be a worker. Also, by the way, driving licensing, all of this, right? And as a foreign worker who was allowed free passage back in the EU days, where it was just simply, hey, drive your vehicle on a ferry, get brought across. Or, just that simple. Get on a ferry, hop across, do what you gotta do. Boom, done, get on, move along with it. You can't do that anymore. Same with Euro Star, Euro train. That used to bring some goods and stuff in as well, or transport vehicles, etc. And that doesn't happen anymore either, because how can you transport it with someone if that person is allowed? And then it's also the opposite, right? If you say, oh, okay, well, we can bring the goods to Britain itself, we'll send our people out to get it and drive it back. Well, they need to get permission to go abroad, to go through all these countries, which is a chore in itself. And then also, it's, oh, that worker could have been doing stuff here as well. They're not. So it's just a supply issue. It's staff shortages. So anyway, let's get into the article. Nando's has temporarily closed its restaurants because of staffing issues at chicken processing factories and a shortage of heavy goods vehicle drivers. Just how long will it take till electors of this benighted country realise that they have been conned by the Brexiters. Well, it took me no longer then to realise what Brexit was, but okay. By this, I do not mean all the electorate. After all, nearly half of those who voted on that fatal June day in 2016 were in favour of remaining in the European Union. And as a proportion of those eligible to vote, the Leave tally was 37%. Since then, to use a phrase much used by their generation, many older Brexit voters have dropped off the perch. Meanwhile, the evidence is that the young who have come into the voting register are predominantly in favour of the EU. The evidence mounts that Brexit is almost a mitigated disaster. The slogan "Get Brexit Done" has been supplanted by supply chain issues, which is bad. It hasn't been bad everywhere, but in a lot of heavily populated areas where there's a lot of people going to, get goods, that's been an issue. In the lesser populated areas, it hasn't been too bad-ish. There has been issues, but it hasn't been too bad. But in, highly populated areas, it's been a lot more noticeable. Obviously, the more people you have, the more foot traffic you have. And when there's an issue, people are going to notice it, whether they're walking by, whether they're in the shop just grabbing something, whether they're doing their actual shopping run. They're going to realise these things. So, yeah. Now it's an almost unmitigated disaster because there is a classic, unexpected consequence of Brexit. Induced labour shortages. They may lead to something that the better-heeled Brexiters did not want, namely a revival of trade union bargaining power. Now, I want to say on top of this, something that is noted in this article, is that it's not just heavy goods vehicle workers, it is also the care sector. In the care sector, there is a staffing crisis at the moment, because more people are moving away from care in order to work in other fields like Amazon factories, warehouses, shelf stacking, there's a bunch of stuff. But basically, they're moving to alternative forms of work that pay higher. Because currently, most care workers get paid £8.50 an hour. And even if you're on the top level, you're getting about £11-12, unless it's for certain calls. And these Amazon jobs and stuff are offering you £13.50 an hour, £1,000 signing bonus. They're very attractive. It's less hours, less work for the same pay, which means you can spend more time with your family and stuff. So it's understandable as to why there is this crisis in the healthcare sector, because in social care sector, because people don't want to work a job like that where there's the pressure, there's the underpay, and there's also, whether you agree, I won't even bring that up because that'll get me in trouble with Twitch. Yeah, I won't even bring that up because it'll get me in trouble with Twitch. But moving on with the article. However, I don't think it needed an insane act of making the country poorer in order to improve wages and working conditions. A more humane government would have been seeking that anyway. But yet, as my old friend and observer colleague Alan Watkins used to say, there it is. But structural changes in the economy take years to work their way through. The airwaves are replete with the problems employees are having in replacing continental European workers who have, surprise, surprise, got the impression they are not wanted in this country by our so-called Home Secretary and her colleagues. I mean, I wonder why they feel that way, right? But the supply chain problems, according to some reports, mean that the Brexit chickens may be coming home to roost, but not to Nando's. One of the many gross charges against the Brexit gang is that they fail to appreciate how, after almost half a century of EU membership and well over a quarter of a century in the single market, Britain has become an integral part of the European economy. There were parallels with how the US economy operates. People, goods, and components moved around freely. Now, as much struck by the letter from an Observer reader, Arnold Glickman, last Sunday, he thinks that by emphasising the rational economic arguments, we Remainers are missing the point, which is that both those for and against Brexit have a view based not on economic but on emotional grounds. Well, I argue that my view isn't based economically. My view is based upon, if I go to the shop, I expect the shop to have the things it had. When I start going to the shop and noticing that bread is missing, that there's chicken missing, that energy drinks are missing, that water is missing from certain suppliers. When I start realizing that the things that I want, that I like as a human being, the things I want to consume, that they're not there, that you can't get access to them, that's an issue. Well, I don't think of that in an economic term. I think of that in a human rights term of, hey, why can't I buy the food I eat? And that's concerning. But let's keep going. Emotion. There is a passage in Isaiah Berlin's The Crooked Timber of Humanity where he reminds us the Bible, Homer, the Greek tragedians, Catullus, Virgil, Dante, French classical tragedy are all full of profound emotion. But emotional gravity the Brexiteers are all about taking back control. Some of them single-handedly failed to achieve. I freely confess to wanting to be part of the European Union or as close as one can get. Given the fiasco that we've created for many emotional and cultural reasons, but my view, and I think I speak for many, is not just emotional, it is based very much on economic reasons, as the damage wreaked by our departure becomes increasingly obvious. And I agree with William on this. Now, I think it's furthermore to go into the fact that it isn't just in terms of what's happening with the economy, with goods, supplies, people, wages, jobs, etc. That is the big issue here. What is also happening is the way we treat outsiders. And frankly, since during the process of Brexit and after we have left, there has been a significant shift. People who were quiet, or would mutter in the recesses of the country are now loud and vocal and proud. And they will take it online, they will take it in person. They will not just say things anymore, but take actions against people. This has been documented, this is known. There's a lot of police cases dealing with this. I'm not going to go into every one of them here because it's not the time or place, and it wouldn't be fair to do that on the podcast. And it's a lot that you'd have to be going through. Yeah, and it is a shift, and it's all happened because of this. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to be here, but I have to be here, and that's the reality of it. I'd rather I could go and take everyone I cared about away from here and live somewhere that was nicer, but that's not the reality of the world. You can't just pick up sticks and move. That's a luxury that many people don't have, I included, and you just have to deal with this mess that has been created through not want of will of ours, but through want of will of others who lied their way into getting what they want. But I think this is enough talking about this article. I think you get the point of it, that Britain isn't exactly a fun place to live. And certainly if you're a foreigner, it's not a fun place to be right now, in terms of politically, socially, or economically. I say choose anywhere else. If you had to pick or vote, I'd say New Zealand or Canada. Like they're fairly good choices. There's other places as well. I'm not saying just New Zealand and Canada are great. But if you're choosing places like New Zealand, Canada, and Netherlands, they're three places where, you could look at. But moving on to the next story, and this one again is from The Guardian. And this one's really disturbing. So obviously we just had the Brexit talk, which is always depressing. But now we've got the privacy talk, and this one is absurd. And I'm not sure why it's a thing. But this is by Sandy Milne of The Guardian, and it's a technology article. And it is about bosses turn to Tattleware, keep tabs on employees working from home. And this is a whole thing, and I'm gonna break it down rather than go through all of it, because it is long. But yeah, let's read the first bit and then I'll explain the rest of it. David, 23, admits that he felt a twinge of relief when the first wave of the virus shut down his Arlington, Virginia office. A recent college graduate, he was new to the job and struggled to click with his teammates. Maybe he thought this would be a nice break from the face-to-face stuff and the office politics and small talk and all that. His name has been changed for the story for privacy reasons. So he couldn't have been more wrong, he said. That's because within the first week of remote work, David and his team were introduced to a digital surveillance platform called Sneak. Every minute or so, the program would capture a live photo of David and his workmates via their company laptop cameras. Now, I just want to add into this that while this article puts it nicely of saying they capture David and his workmates, they also capture the background scenery. So that background scenery includes your wife, your partner, your children, your photos on the wall, whatever it could be. They are taking pictures of that and collecting it. So yeah, put that in your brain and kind of deal with it, and I think anyone can understand like why that's disturbing. So the ever-changing headshots were displayed across the wall of a digital conference waiting room that everyone on the team could see. Clicking on a colleague's face cam would unilaterally force them into a video call. If you were lucky enough to catch someone goofing off or picking their nose, you could forward them the offending image to a team chat via Sneak's integration with the messaging platform Slack. Or, you might see someone's partner who's, just walking up in the mornings, getting something to eat and might not be dressed, appropriately for work, who doesn't know that they're actually being recorded by a company whose management and staff are ogling them, which is disturbing. Or maybe it's some weirdo who likes watching your kids. And I'm saying this because it is real things. It is disturbing. So according to the co-founder Del Curry, the software is meant to replicate The Office. We know lots will find it an invasion of privacy. We 100% get that. And it's not the solution for those folks, Curry says. But there's also lots of teams out there who are good friends and want to stay connected when they're working together. Yeah, if I want to stay connected while I'm working together, I can use Skype. I can use Discord, where I can have the option to, show my face or not show my face. Right? Like their options for me, where I can use, like a platform that actually values my privacy and doesn't go, hey, by the way, we're just going to take snapshots of your life. But what is worse is that this platform is not, these platforms, this software is also logging keystrokes and tracking browser history. And I want to explain why this is a bad thing. Logging your keystrokes means that these people, everything you search for, everything you type, they know. This includes your passwords. They can take screenshots of your screen, see passwords, to see email addresses. They can timestamp it and go, oh, well, he typed this, what looks like to be a password at this time, and that was the email he used on this screenshot at this time. They must be connected. We can get into this account. And they can do that for your credit card, for your email addresses, whatever it might be. And this means that they can access your stuff on even stuff outside of your computer. No matter how safe your computer is and what's on those things, if they're connected to other platforms where there is a vulnerability, they can get in through that way as well. But I want to make this perfectly clear. This kind of software, this is virus level. And I want to explain this properly. Why I say this is virus level, this is malicious software. This is legally malicious software. Now, why I say legally is because your company is making you consent to put this on your computer, right? They're saying, oh, we need this to monitor your work. And you go, oh yeah, that's fine. We'll put this on our computer. It'll be all great. You know that. But you may not know the full extent of the program that you're putting on. And I imagine that there's millions of people who don't know the extent to in which they have, made themselves, undermine their security and privacy to a this extent. And what these malicious software did when you don't put it on yourself is it allows them to control your computer. They can turn on your microphone, they can turn on your headset, they can turn on your webcam without your permission, they can take screenshots, they can have data upon data of where you've been, what you've listened to, what your political affiliations, what religion are you subscribed to, what do you like to watch online, do you watch anything that's not safe for work online? Is any of that could be used against you to humiliate you or put you in your place? There is so many levels upon this as to where you as a person and individual can be put in a position where you're abused by your employer, where your employer blackmails you with pictures of your family, where they have, data upon you which you don't want out in the world because it's your private life, it's your life. You're not per se ashamed about it, but at the same time, it's who you are that you don't want people to know about. It's it's something that's sensitive and confidential that is an intrinsic part of you that you don't want out in the world. And unfortunately, with this kind of programs that these companies are forcing upon people, I think it's a lot in America. I don't know exactly where all the customers are from, but yeah, it's really disturbing. It's sinister. And if you are one of these people who is a part of a company that is using this kind of software, make people aware in your company, not your higher ups, because they subscribe to this, they want this. You can best believe it isn't on their computers. But they won't be part of this. They'll be part of collecting the info, but not sharing their own. They'll have a little option where it opts them out as managers. But what you need to do is organize with your other team members. Let them know and say, this isn't cool. They're collecting info about our bank accounts, about our family, about our spouses, about our partners, about our social lives, our political affiliations, whatever it might be that you don't want people to collect about. Let your other employees know so you can band together and say, no, this is not happening, and make a case for it to get stopped. Go to your governors, to your MPs, to people empowering the government, and, bring this up. Make a case, go to court, and do something to protect yourselves, because this is disturbing and wrong, and you might think your employer cares about you, but they don't. They don't. They want you to make money for them, and that's all they care about. And the moment you don't, or the moment you become a problem, they will get rid of you. And they will use this kind of stuff to do it as well. You best believe that they will have a dossier on you with stuff from this, and it will look awful, and they will fire you, and it will be horrendous. And not just that, they might leak it to the public in order just to get you suspended. So, the federal government. Oh, ABC 7 News. 8.9 people will lose all federal unemployment benefits Monday as the COVID safety net ends. Okay, let's get into this. So, another 2.7 million lost the 300 federal weekly boost, but will continue receiving state payouts. So this is CNN Wire, ABC 7 News in Washington. So yeah, April Stokes wants to go back to work. She is an optician by trade. That means you have to go to school, get an education. Being an optician is not something you just walk into. It requires training and expertise. So she was employed at the Henry Ford Optim Eyes until the, happened and struck, and her school closed for her two young children as well. So the family's been able to ride out what has happened thanks to expanded federal unemployment benefits, which provide them with $1,152 every 2 weeks, which is less than Stokes was making before, but it was enough to survive. It was enough to buy food, to pay the bills, to ensure that they stayed safe. But however, now that Lifeline's ended, and she isn't worried about her ability to find a new job, but finding one that can accommodate her children's schedules with them not being in school. And with her schedule, according to her, it's impossible. It will be next to impossible, she says. Childcare in her area, where she lives, is severely limited, she said, and the nanny she trusted with her kids in the afternoon prior to what happened is no longer available. The government is leaving us without any options, said Stokes, noting the officials are pushing people back to work while telling them that the, variant remains a concern. There's a lot of single moms out there that are really panicking right now and don't know what to do. And I think that's a fair assessment. And I'm not saying that other families aren't suffering, and that isn't an issue for other families, and that there isn't other families that are not in a dire situation. But as single parents out of work when you've got kids, and it's up to you, it's your responsibility. There isn't two of you, there's one of you. It's a lot of pressure. I want to say this in a way that makes sense, and that is being a single parent. You don't have that support. You don't have that other person to lean upon, that person to turn to, that person who can shoulder some of the weight, who can help you navigate these waters, who can help you get to the other side. It's you and this massive responsibility to try and do the best what you can for your kids, which it must be deeply terrifying, and as a parent. But a key part of the relief effort was a federal weekly supply for at-work Americans. Initially, the job list received 600 a week. A boost from April through July 2020. Congress then received the enhancement in late December, but revived the enhancement in December, but reduced it to $300 a week, which is £600 every 2 weeks. And yeah, lawmakers also created two other measures to aid the jobless, and the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program provided payouts for freelancers, self-employed, etc. And, the compensation program extended payments for those who've exhausted their regular state benefits as well. And Joe Biden said last month that states can use federal relief funds to extend the programs beyond Labor Day, but so far none have said they will do so. Oh, that's bad. The end of the safety net comes as the variant is weighing on the economy and dampening hiring. The US added only 235,000 jobs in August, far lower than economics had been expecting, and smallest increase since January. So it's going to hurt a lot of people. 11 million in total, and it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. It's horrible for the parents. It's horrible for people in general, but it's so much worse, terrifying for the kids, right? Because they're the ones who are ultimately suffer from this. It is the kids who haven't. Well, no one in this situation has done anything wrong. It's just a horrible situation. But the kids, out of everyone, are the most innocent, right? And they deserve a better future than to. As much as people like to say, this affects the kids as well. They know that their parents are suffering, that the parents are struggling, that they're weighed down by this. They feel it. They might not have to be told it, but they still feel it. It stays weighs on them. It still affects them. It still, damages them emotionally and makes them stress and makes them worry because they think, why is mom so angry? Why is dad so upset? Why haven't we got this thing? And yeah, it's bad. Okay, so we're gonna move on again. So Jet Li is probably the next person who's gonna get cancelled by China. And he's been warned to leave quickly. This comes from Today Online. And so far, the celebrities to be cancelled is Zhang Shuang, Chris Wu, Zhang Jihan, followed by Hu Zun, Qian Fang, However, none of these cases have been as mystifying as what happened to Vicky Zhao. And yeah, the 45-year-old celebrity's name has been removed from projects she starred in and then wiped from Chinese websites overnight. But apparently the next one is going to be Jet Li. So I don't know why this would happen or when it's going to happen. But yeah, it's sad to see. We won't go through this anymore though because it's too much. But there's a lot of people who have been removed, cut out from society, who aren't being promoted, who have been removed from the film's credits and everything, and it's sad. So Epic Games has a very, very low review on Privacy Spy, which is something. I don't quite know what this means in terms of this website because I've never used it. But apparently, according to people, does the policy allow for personal target their behavior marketing 000? Display outline services general security practice 1 305 Huh. It seems bad. We'll move on from this because this doesn't make sense. I should have looked at this beforehand. So yeah, Chivalry 2. This is a short one. On September 4th, Tripwire Interactive President John Gibson tweeted that he was proud of the US Supreme Court for greenlighting a 6-week ban upon a very sad topic in Texas. I think y'all guys will know what it's about. As an entertainer, I don't get political often, he wrote. Yet with so many vocal peers on the side of this issue, I felt it's important to go on the record that I am a pro-life game developer. I think that'll give you guys a clue where this went. So, yeah, Shipwright Studios, who are the makers of Chivalry 2, went on Twitter and they gave their opinions. And they said, while your politics are your own, the moment you make them a matter of public discourse, you entangle all those working for and with you. We have worked closely alongside the talented and passionate members at Tripwire and your partners for the last 3+ years. We know it's difficult for employees to speak up or act out in these scenarios, and they may not feel comfortable to speak their minds. It's regrettable, but we feel it would be doing ourselves, your employees, your partners, and the industry as a whole a disservice to allow this pattern to continue without comment. So we started Shipwright with the idea that it was finally time to put our money where our mouth is. We cannot, in good conscience, continue to work with Tripwire under the current leadership structure. We will begin the cancellation of our existing contract effective immediately. So, this is what happens, right? Basically, Shipwright has said, we want nothing to do with you. You're on your own. You're done, dude. Like, we're freaking done. I'm gonna like and I'm gonna retweet that as well. They just basically says, nope. We are not dealing with this. We don't want this. We're not gonna be a part of this. We are completely and utterly out. If you want to make this political, if you want to make this public, if you want to put us in this position, then you want to press us against the wall, then guess what? We're going to push back, and we're going to say no, and we're going to take our successful game, and we're going to do it ourselves. We'll take it elsewhere, we'll take it on our own, and if we lose money, we lose money, but what matters more is what we stand for than what you try to lump us in with, and I think that they should be absolutely commended for that. It is a hard line to take to put principles above profit. Too many people put profit above principles, so it is good to see that Shipwright Studios is doing the right thing. So yeah, it's mental, but yeah, the story's here on PC Gamer. So yeah, Tony Banner, the studio developed Chivalry 2 for Tripwire, also posted a statement. We not share the opinion expressed in a tweet by the president of Tripwire, publisher of Chivalry 2. It says, this perspective is not shared by our team, nor it reflects our games. And yeah, we create a statement stands in opposition to what we believe about women's rights. It's madness. So Shipwright Studios has left. Then you've got Tori Banner, who is working on Chivalry 2. Yeah, and they're out as well. It's yeah, yeah. He brought it upon himself, right? There's not more you can say than that. But anyways, that's enough with like all the sad, messed up stuff. I'm sorry about that, but it's been a wild weekend, right? It's been a wild week. A lot of stuff's come out, and things are just, I don't know. It always, I feel like lately it just always feels like things are getting worse than what they are. Well, maybe not than what they are, but you're just realizing how shitty things are in general. So we're going to move on to some game trailers. And we're going to start with the Jackbox Party Pack 8 official trailer. Now let me make sure that the audio for this is muted. Yes, it is. So the Jackbox Party Pack 8 is out. I haven't played the game myself. I have played some older games as a viewer, and I did enjoy it. It's a really fun interactive game. I think it especially shines while streaming, right? It's a game definitely designed around streamers in mind and communities. And yeah, they're just developing more and more games, more stuff that everyone can like hang out and chill with and have fun with. And I don't think anyone who's played the game has ever really had a bad experience. I don't know. I really don't know, but I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that Jackbox is bad. And yeah, so there's gonna be a new one, new game modes, new stuff. It's coming to Switch, PS5, Xbox Series XS, Steam. I'm sure people will have fun with it. There'll probably be the mobile link up thing and the browser link up thing. I don't know if they still do that or not. But they used to, so I'm presuming that they still will, so people can engage in it. But yeah, it's interesting, right? It is interesting. So we're gonna move on to the second trailer, and this is for Conway, and this is the release date, which is 2nd of November. I don't know a lot about this game, but let's go through the description so we kind of have a idea, right, of like what this is. So it's a new trailer of Conway, coming to all platforms, and it doesn't say in the trailer what it is. So let's hop into it and see what it's about, right? It only has 1,000 views as well, so I presume it's a pretty small game by small developers. So we'll kind of see how that goes. It looks pretty though. It does look pretty. Oh, so it's like a psychological thriller? Well, more like a mystery thriller. Oh, Sherlock Holmesy. Oh, interesting. It's sort of Sherlock Holmesy, but at the same time, yeah, investigating. So you're like a spy on your neighbors and stuff, which is a cool concept, I guess. So it's like Sherlock Holmes meets snooping Tom. Yeah. And you gotta like do questions and stuff to get to the truth, which is a bit like Ace Attorney. But I don't think it'll have the same type, but you kind of get what I mean. So it's a mystery. Oh, dude's in a wheelchair, nice. I mean, it's nice that he's in a wheelchair, but I mean, it's interesting character choice. I guess it explains the character as well. If because this looks like it's set in the 1930s or 40s, so if you are in your house in a wheelchair, I guess you would look at the outside world and try to, or want to be a part of the outside world. So this is coming out 2nd of November. It's gonna be on PS4, PS5, Switch, Steam, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, and yeah, this actually looks interesting. I didn't know what to expect from this, but it's a unique game. I like the idea, the concept of the main character and protagonist as well, of it being, a person who is not able-bodied, like myself. Uh, I think that representation, especially for this kind of game, right? This game is sort of spy mystery novel kind of game, and I feel like this kind of character for this time period really fits the setting and atmosphere of it. I'll be interested to see what more comes of this, and I actually think this will generally be something I'll look out for because I really like the concept and idea. I really, really do. I think it is unique to say the least. So let's move on to the next video, which is Fist Forged in Shadow. So this is another trailer. This one's on IGN. It's got a little bit more traction than the other one. It's actually got 450,000 views, which isn't bad for IGN. So the game is an upcoming Metroidvania action game that encourages players to explore its beautiful world, solve its puzzles and platforming, and take on a ferocious enemies in combat. It's got a pretty good pre-build from IGN there. Let's actually watch the video and see what this is all about, right? And get like an idea from it. This is the official launch trailer, so yeah, let's hop into it. Billy. I do like the art style of this already. That was something that stood out to me when I watched a little bit of it. And look at the bat and the rabbit. Like, the actual characters look well made. Okay, so it's 2D. And which isn't a bad thing, actually. I feel like it allows them to maximize the art style, whilst also, limiting the difficulty of it. This looks cool. So it's more like Hollow Knight and stuff, games like that. But yeah. Oh, you got some 2D stuff as well. Top-down game action. So you got like side-scroller aspect there, top-down action. And then you got the bosses as well. Holy crap. Yo, whoa. That went laggy for a second there. 1 second, there we go. Play again. I really like the character design though, it's awesome. Okay, seeing dash through stuff. Yo, this is cool. I'll go for this. This is nice. So it's gonna be whoa, IGN. Bad IGN, don't do that, bro. Don't do that. It's gonna be on PS4 and PS5, apparently only. But that looks cool. That's like a cool little game. Obviously people are hyped for it. I like the art style. I'm not sure about the story, obviously, because we didn't get much to see about the story. But it's certainly, every other aspect looks good about it. We'll have to see how it does. Obviously, it's out now, apparently, on, PS4 and PS5, so, I don't know. Maybe it's part of PS Plus in the future, or some of you guys have played it, but you can let me know down below. Like, what you think of this game, if you have played it. But yeah, it's interesting. I'll give that one a like. I do like that. I'll give Conway a like as well, because that was pretty awesome. I'll probably get his tweet out afterwards as well. So moving on to Little Hats, which is in early access. This is the early access trailer. And yeah. After more than 2 years of development, I'm pleased to share that my game Little Hats will be available on Steam in early access by the end of September 2021. So yeah, the end of September it'll be out apparently. So let's like hop in to see what this is about. I really don't know anything about this game, so we'll just have to kind of see. I mean, the art style is pretty. It's forest, deer running about. There's deer in the forest and stuff. Light rays and all that. I mean, eh? A little bit confused. There's not a lot going on at the moment. I don't know whether it's atmosphere setting or what. There's fire. Not gonna lie, these graphics look a little bit off. I don't know whether that's me. Like, what am I running this at? I'm running this at 1080p 60. That's the max. These graphics look a little bit weird, not gonna lie. They do look off. Can I still continue? Yeah, this looks dated. That fire looks terrible. The other stuff doesn't look too bad, but that fire and stuff doesn't look good. Says people kind of like the borrowers, I guess. The framework looks weird. There's like fox and stuff. I guess it's like the concept of the borrowers, right? Little people. The borrowers people, I mean specifically running around the house, living their own lives. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there's FPS issues. I don't know whether this is the person's PC, whether they can't run this at full and record it, or whether this is like the actual game. I know it is early access, so it might so it'll improve. Well, it may improve as well. But right now, yeah, this is a hard sell for me. Right now, this is a hard sell. There's some stuff in that yeah, made me a bit wary about it. Yeah. So we're gonna move into the final trailer. And this one is from Evodiant Studios. Its original is 2099, which is an official UE5 Cyberpunk gameplay teaser. This is the second teaser, and it's a Cyberpunk bounty hunter game inspired by Prey 2 and Blade Runner. And what we are seeing is a prototype gameplay now using the latest Unreal 5 engine, with a lot more to come in the future, they are saying. So let's see what this is about, and yeah, let's hop into it. There we go. Yo, this is pretty. Let's go say that now. This is absolutely beautiful. This is super beautiful. Yo, this reminds me of like Fifth Element, Judge Dredd meets Cyberpunk meets Dread the game meets I don't know, like, holy crap. This is a pretty game. The gameplay seems actually not too bad. Oh, this really reminds me of Fifth Element here. Holy crap. Fifth Element, Star Wars, freaking, Coruscant. Like, that's what that reminds me of. That's cool. That was a very short gameplay trailer. I mean, if they just made the switch over to UE5, that makes sense, right? They'll probably have to port everything over, redo some stuff, rework it, and, figure it out. Apparently they're going to do a Kickstarter as well. Not sure why they didn't do a Kickstarter, then put it on Steam, and put it on Steam instead of doing a Kickstarter first. Bit weird of choice. But, I don't know. We'll have to see where this goes, and what people think. Play whatever you build you have now. But seriously, it looks fantastic, and you guys really nailed the Blade Runner style music. I don't know about that. The gameplay looked good, but there's obviously a lot more that needs to go into that and stuff. But yeah, that looked like pretty fun, pretty nice games overall in that. So yeah, anyways, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the new background. I hope it's been a little bit better. I think everything's running a little bit better, which is a good thing. Uh, yeah. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. We talked about some stuff, some sad stuff, some happy stuff, a little bit of other stuff, but we're approaching that 1 hour mark with like about 5 minutes left. So I just want to go out there and say, like, if you like the video, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. But also let me know what you think about the new setup and everything, how this looks. I think it looks a lot better than what it did. And just let me know what you think about everything we talked about today. Feedback's important. I appreciate it. I enjoy it. That engagement and stuff really helps me. So please do engage and let me know what you guys think. But anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next Pandacast, or if you watch my other videos and stuff, there'll be a link for that in wherever you're watching this. And yeah, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. And yeah, thanks, guys. Peace out. And